Hey guys, so I thought I'd do a health update today just because I've had some major changes occurring recently. So today I wanted to say I got up at 6 in the morning. Yes, that is with the time change, but still, like, I've been going to bed early and waking up early, and that's a really important indication of hypo health because I'm not going by alarm. This isn't something that I'm just setting. And I was doing this really, really earlier in the year, like towards January or February. And it's because at that time, I wasn't taking, or like I wasn't doing a deficit. When you do a deficit, it sets you back. So it kind of set me back a long time, almost a full year. When I started doing the deficit in terms of my hypo journey, it like really hampered my hypo health when I did the deficit, which is something I think a lot of people aren't aware of, especially at super morbid obese sizes. It's really important to understand like losing fat does make your hypo worse as you're losing it. But over time, you have less fat, it doesn't have as much of an effect, and that's kind of where I'm at now. So, just as a reminder to you guys, I've lost 86 pounds of fat since July of 2022, which is very significant. And by now, I'm really having a lot of shifts in my body. So, while I will call this time in this video probably the Great Plateau, I think it's a plateau for a lot of different reasons. It's a plateau because I'm getting up earlier. So, when you get up earlier, you tend to weigh more. My, weight loss girlies will understand that. Like, when you're going to bed later and you wake up later, you tend to weigh less on the scale. If you get up earlier and you go to bed earlier, you weigh more. So that's a factor. And also, I think I'm having general recomposition. I feel like my lean tissue is kind of building back up, which is fascinating within the context of a deficit. I wasn't sure if that was ever going to happen. But I think the combination of my hypo health getting towards a moderate level and my the seasonal aspect of burning less fat because it's cooler, I think those two things are enabling me to rebuild some lean tissue even in a deficit. And I wonder if I'm still able to build muscle. But we're going to get into that later because we're going to talk a bit about my winter strategy in this video. But I just wanted to say I'm getting up really early again. And doing this within a deficit is a huge sign of health because, like I said, that set me back. When I do a deficit, when if you are really hypo and you're mega obese, when you do a deficit, the type of fat on your body, typically it makes your hypo worse. And so it set me back almost a whole year, before I could get back up early at this time again. And it's really interesting because this is probably the new paradigm now. Like if I were to get off the deficit, I'm not going to wake up later. That doesn't work that way. So I think this is kind of it for now. I mean, we'll see if it changes. It tends to fluctuate quite a bit. I'll see, especially as we get towards Christmas time, if it stays. But it's really interesting to be getting up so early. I've noticed a lot of changes just to a certain extent within my personality. Like I feel a lot more social. I don't feel as resistant to other people. And part of that is being up in the day as well. I think it's all kind of connected because I'm around my mom a lot more because I'm up earlier. So I'm up with her. And it's like my mom isn't the same person I remember her as, and I don't think I'm the same person she remembers me as. Like, because we didn't talk for a while because I was kind of up all night and she's up in the day and you just don't really see each other. And so it's been interesting to kind of reconnect with her. And there's still some issues here and there, but it's not as bad as I thought it was, to be honest. I found too that in a lot of my online discourse and in a lot of the ways that I view things and view people, I don't need an enemy anymore. I feel like I needed an enemy. I think that's a really common thing today. But I think especially within a hypo context, sometimes you need enemies to get motivation to do stuff. Um, and I find that that's going away. And I think that's also part of what triggered my identity crisis. And with that, I can transition into this part of the video where I want to say I've turned a major corner as far as my identity crisis. I know which way to go now. I've reached a point now in my brain where I can separate the hypothyroid illness, serotonin-y, hypohazy part of me from the true core me. And I can see the difference between the two. And so now I know to go towards the real me and to reject the serotonin hypo version of me. Which the biggest and easiest ways to describe that is just I'm not as black and white thinking. I'm not as rigidly thinking. I can just allow things to happen or allow things not to happen, right? Like there's a lot more ease rather than disease, right? Rather than dis-ease, it's just ease. You kind of let things just happen as they are supposed to. And I don't need to fight with anybody. So I have been dealing with a little bit of online drama on my other channel. But I noticed like I got some hate comments and stuff like that. And it didn't bother me that much. And I just felt like, this is so cringy to say, but I felt like it was so low vibe. And it's like, I just don't resonate with that anymore. And so I just ignored it. I just don't have a response anymore. And I find that with a lot of stuff. Like I was DMing somebody on Instagram today. Shout out. Shout out to Emily. But I was DMing with Emily, and she was kind of telling me about some of the hate she got when she left the movement and stuff. And I was just like, in the past, even like early this year, I would have seen that and I would have just lashed out at the person. But I don't really do that anymore. It's like I don't feel a need to. And I think there was a genuine need to, which is why like it is what it is. I think people are at different stages of their journey, and a lot of people need enemies to get the motivation to get up and live in the morning. I know that's horrible, but it is true. And I think the online world has provided that for a lot of people. But as for me personally, I don't feel that way anymore. And it feels really liberating. It feels really liberating to be able to just like cut the bullshit and just be like yourself. And it's like, I don't care if I convince people. I don't care because I'm not threatened. Like I'm not insecure about my beliefs or about like what I'm doing as far as this weight loss journey. Like I'm just not. And I think that it's just really powerful to be able to put the bullshit aside, get up and keep going and be okay and not engage in these types of things anymore. When I was in the hypo haze, I was always fighting with somebody. It was a part of my life for quite a few years, and it isn't anymore. And I find myself wanting peace. And I just think that that's such a huge positive change that I don't even really know the ramifications of that yet. Like I feel like this will probably affect the rest of my life to be at this point. The other stuff is just, I'm really leaning into that more creative, more spontaneous part of me and being more in flow. And it's just really positive. I've reached a place of forgiveness about a lot of things in my past. Ironically enough, when I saw the Taylor movie, it kind of showed me a lot of my past feelings and a lot of things that I've actually forgiven. I think my light is crackling and that's freaking me out. Maybe I should turn it off. I don't know. Ooh, I don't know if this light is working. Okay, I'm gonna turn it off. Anyways, so I notice a lot of that, those kind of themes of going towards peace. So I was trying to say, sorry, that really distracted me. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a spirit haunting me right here. I'm just gonna turn it back on. It's still making those noises. I don't know. If I die, you guys know why. I'm just kidding. That's terrible. Anyways, sorry for the distraction. So, anyways, as I was trying to say, it showed me that I had forgiven that stuff. And I do think forgiveness is a part of weight loss. I think forgiving other people and forgiving yourself, even just from a physical perspective, because I think when you're holding on to things, it puts your body in a more stressed state, and that can prevent weight loss. And so, yeah, I'm trying to just embrace the peace, and I'm trying to lean into this and not self-sabotage or not get caught up in bullshit drama and stuff, especially because it is still a little tough to be on the deficit, especially going into the autumn. Like really being in the swing of autumn with it colder, I am hungrier. Like I want to eat more. I've noticed that I've had to shift towards fat, and I've had to shift towards like um different kinds of juice. Like I've been having these, like, it's basically stevia water with like a hint of juice. It's like a big bottle and it only has 40 calories in it. I've been drinking those, and those have been helping me hydrate. And I'm just kind of shifting. Like I had pork rinds and cheese this morning, for breakfast, because I've really been craving fat. So I've noticed that too. I'm really craving fat a lot. And within a deficit, when you crave more of one thing, you got to lower the other. So I'm just having fruit and kind of lessening on the sugar side because I need more fat to be more satisfied. So my body is really changing a lot. I'm going strong at the gym, but I'm going to have to go early. I'm going to have to go to the gym early in the morning. And so I'm a little nervous about tomorrow. So hopefully it won't be too crowded, or I can go when it's okay. Because just because I'm like more okay with people doesn't mean I'm like suddenly the life of the party and an extrovert. Like I'm not. I'm very introverted, so I don't like that. So I'm like, maybe if I go at like 5:45, nobody will be there. That's what I'm thinking. If you guys have any advice of like what times to go to the gym, I should probably make a short, because I don't think I can go late anymore because my sleep schedule is changing. Anyways, so that's kind of been a thing too. But I did want to talk to you guys about my gym strategy. So I don't think it's good to really change things that much in the fall. I've learned over the years that the fall is really a time when you should just try to hold on to what you've already been doing. So I'm not going to go to the gym. I do full body once every 4 days, and I just do the machines. And my gains have slowed down. But I'm not pushing too hard right now. Like I'm not really trying to get more muscle. Like I'm not really trying to go up in weight. I'm not really on it like that. Like I go a little slower. It's probably like once every 2 weeks now, just because I don't need to push myself, and I'm trying to work on form and things like that. Even though it's a little bit less of a concern than if I was doing free weight, because with that you can really get injured. With this, I don't think you can. I mean, the machines are kind of gay, you know. So, no offense to anybody. Like, it's just average fitness level, right? It's not like I'm doing the Olympics or something. Like, I'm not. But I am working towards average fitness, which is amazing. It's so weird to say, like, I'm so close to being average. Wow. It's like, oh my God. But my plan for the gym is really, I like to up my gym and kind of go to the next level in April. So I'm thinking in April, I'll start going once every 3 days. That will officially put me at 2 times a week, which will get me in like an average gym fitness place where I'm doing full body twice a week. Then I'll get to average and then I'll try to sustain that the whole time. And then I'm thinking the next year, so in 2025, that's when I might actually go to be a little bit more advanced and do free weights at that time. So I am thinking more long term of what I'm going to do fitness wise. My main goal right now is to just keep going. I want to get to the point where I can go to the gym year round. I wasn't able to the past 2 years. I had to drop off in the winter, and the winter was so harsh for me that I couldn't go until the fall. Like, it took me that long to recover. So far, so good. It seems like it's going to be okay. I'm feeling really good for it being colder outside and, getting to the darker time of the year. I only have to see how I do in December. If I'm just as good in December, that'll be amazing. So, yeah, I think getting up earlier is helping. I feel like it's helping blood sugar. It's helping a lot of different things. But I think it's more so that I was changing. And so I woke up earlier. It's not so much that I made myself get up earlier and that made my blood sugar get better. I think it's just getting better anyways, which I'll have to test it at some point. But I've noticed that it's different. Like, stevia doesn't make me hungry. For a long time, stevia made me hungry. It doesn't anymore. So that will really help on the dieting front because my deficit is noticeably less. Like, I'm like, oh gosh, it's a little tough. But, things get a little harder on the dieting side as you get towards average, and as you're getting healthier, it is a little more challenging in some of those ways. But it's so amazing to be healthier. Like, I was thinking about a video I did towards July, I think. It was called Losing Weight is Red, and it was like how I was kind of connecting a Taylor Swift song to my health journey, which it's called Evermore. And she says, in the cracks of light, I thought of you. It was real enough to get me through. She says something like that. And to me, when I heard that song this year, it made me think of like all the work I did to get healthier, that I envisioned a healthier me afterwards, or that I could get there. And I don't think a lot of people can appreciate like how dark this journey has been. Even this year, it's been very dark. And to finally kind of hit daylight, not just physically, but metaphorically, even within a deficit. So knowing that I'm probably not going to have one of those dark times again, it's really a beautiful, amazing thing. And I just feel so happy that I'm healthier. I don't have to think about a lot of the stuff I had to think about all the time. And even if I'm plateaued, it doesn't really matter because at this time I'm getting so many different health benefits, and I really feel like I'm kind of reaping what I've sown from losing 50 pounds this year. I think I'm really just getting into the physical difference and the health benefits. So even going into a challenging time, which is December, it's always been a challenging month, I'm feeling pretty optimistic that it will at least be livable. I think it'll be difficult to go to the gym and difficult to do certain things, but I think it will be livable. And that was my goal, and I think I'll at least maintain, which was also my goal. So yeah, wish me luck. Pray for me if you pray. I definitely would appreciate it. And it's really nice to be able to give good news and be positive in one of these videos, especially now because I feel like it's a little bit of a dark time, but these are some major, major breakthroughs occurring right now where it's like, I just feel like so many different possibilities are opening up. And I think just being at peace within and being able to go towards peace in the world or like outside of me is really huge. So, yeah, I'm going to lean into that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys again soon. Have a good rest of your day, night, whatever. Talk soon.